So when it comes to X-Men Dark Phoenix, there's a lot of interesting stuff that is happening in this movie. It is of course an X-Men film, which undoubtedly already has a lot of attention going towards it, and of course it's the first core X-Men titled movie that will be put out by Disney, which of course is part of the whole acquisition deal of Fox. Now, as the movie has just now entered into post-production, the film is still about 11 months away from release. So there's a lot of time and a lot of things that can be done within this film. But today's topic video is something that you guys have asked me about to kind of talk about it and express my thoughts on it and the possibility of if this could happen. And of course, what I'm talking about is the possibility of could X-Men Dark Phoenix be connected to the MCU? So in this video, I'm not going to talk about the logistics of how it could happen, but could it happen? So here's what we know. The young cast, such as the actress for Jean Grey and of course the actress for Storm, were all hired starting recently with the most recent films. This of course being X-Men Apocalypse. And the rumors suggest that all of these actors took a 3 to 5 movie contract. Now I'm willing to bet it's probably 3 movies apiece, which means X-Men Dark Phoenix is going to be their second film out of their 3 film contract. So the way it could go is that Disney chooses to not make the 3rd movie and just pays them outright for this because they want to recast. But in case they see that this is a bad thing because they don't want to have to pay them out millions of dollars to actually do something, they could see it feasible that they could maybe go in there, try to reshoot elements of the film during the reshoot process, which is coming up, or who knows, maybe Disney will even step in, say, go and reshoot 2 months worth of this movie and make sure it fits into the MCU. Bump everything forward and try to retrofit this film within the confines of the actual cinematic universe. Now, there is some interesting ways that this can actually work. When you think about it, this movie takes place in the 90s. Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s. So there's some connective tissue there. Now, obviously, the bigger thing would be that also the villain of both of these movies are going to be the Skrulls. So once again, you're looking at the same type of connective tissue, which you could feasibly, I guess, say that, okay, this all makes sense, this is all one universe, there you go now. The bigger problem is what happens with the other films in this series, and I think that's the big issue you're going to run into. So while you could retrofit Dark Phoenix to actually fit into continuity and continue using these contracts, I honestly don't think Marvel is going to. I think this movie comes out, it plays out the way it's coming, they don't put too much advertising into it, and then they just move on to the reboot.